I want to talk to you first about setting yourself up as a parent observer for a student in Canvas. And then I want to go through just sort of the website interface as a parent. But then also I want to make sure that we take a look at the app. If you search for any how-to things in Canvas, there's something called the Canvas community. And so you can see a lot of information about how to do things in Canvas simply by just doing a regular Google search. And so when you do that here, it walks you through the process of getting that parent observer account set up so that you can observe and see kind of what's going on with your student and their interactions in Canvas with their teachers. But there's a trick to this. You do actually need to know your school's URL for their Canvas account. So for example, my school district is lacrosseschools.instructure.com. You usually can tell, like if you asked your child if they were working on a laptop or a Chromebook, if you ask them to see their Canvas account, you can often see what that school URL is right up in the web browser address bar. And so then you would type in the school name .instructure.com and it brings you to a login page. And up here, it's need a Canvas account. Click here, it's free. And when you do that, it's going to pop open this next window here. I am a student, I am a teacher, but then right here, there is a parents sign up for free. And so that's what you would click on. Now, you also need something from your student. And what you need from them, so as you're setting up the details here, your name, your email, your password, whatever you want that to be, you are going to be prompted to put in a student pairing code. And so I'm going to show you how to do that in just a little bit when we actually go on to the parent app. I'll show you where you can find that pairing code. And essentially, after you get that pairing code in there, you'll check that you agree to the terms, that you're not a robot, and you'll start participating. And that is going to get you into, and I'm going to stop sharing this screen so I can bring you to this one. So when you are then paired up with your child's Canvas account, this is what it looks like to be a parent observer. And so these are tiles here on this. This is the dashboard. And so anytime you enter Canvas, it automatically takes you to the dashboard. And the tiles that are present here are supposed to be, I didn't set anything up. This was how it looked when I signed up today to be an observer in my child's account. And you can change the dashboard by going on the courses button over here on the left-hand side. There's a main navigation bar. And if I click on courses, see, I don't have the ability to do that. You are supposed to be able to star which ones are the favorites, which actually it kind of makes more sense to me that I can just see them all. These are all of my child's courses that he is currently enrolled in. And so courses is just another way to access those. The calendar is a nice feature because what that does is it can show you what kinds of things he has done and then what kinds of things he has upcoming. So like here he has some Cornell notes that are due tomorrow for his fitness and wellness course. And so this is a really nice feature. And this is what it looks like for students as well, and for teachers actually. But that can kind of help you to look and see what kinds of things they have going on. Another feature in Calendar that I really love, that I show all my students, is Agenda. So up along the top here in the Calendar view, if you click on Agenda, what it does is it takes all of their upcoming assignments and different events that are in their calendar, and it puts them in a chronological list, which is really, really nice. And it allows them to see things that way. And, so it's kind of like a planner that you didn't have to put together yourself, that it was already kind of pre-done. But month is the default view in Calendar when you open it. You can also uncheck courses over here. Like if you don't want to see, if you only want to see geometry, because let's say your student is behind in geometry, and so you just want to see what kind of work they have to do there, then you can just uncheck some of these other calendars so that it leaves behind just the geometry stuff. And as a parent, you also have the ability to add events to this calendar as if it were your own planner. So like if you had a meeting scheduled with a teacher, you could actually set it up in this calendar feature in Canvas. So inbox, this is a place for you to communicate with your child's or children's teachers if you needed to. I haven't ever used the history feature, so I'm going to be honest with you. I don't really know what that's about. But I will tell you that the help feature is very nice. And so if your child is struggling, like maybe they don't know how to turn something in, or they're unsure of how to, I'm not sure, but like, I don't know how to submit my assignment, mom. And maybe, I don't know either. Like I'm an educator and I use Canvas, and so I can be very helpful that way. But there are always questions that come up that I don't know the answer to, because again, we didn't really have training in using Canvas. And so if you click on help in the navigation bar and then search the Canvas guides, and then guides by product, Canvas is the product we're interested in. There's all sorts of guides in here, guides as an observer or parent, student guides, and your students have access to this same help center as well. And there's just a wealth of resource in here. So if I click on student guide, and let's say my child doesn't know how do I submit a media file? Let's say they're supposed to turn a video in with something. And so you click on that. It kind of walks them through how to do it with screenshots and instructions. And so it's a really, really nice feature in Canvas that I find very helpful as a teacher and as a parent. So along this navigation bar again, and Studio is, that's a feature that I'm kind of surprised it's showing up here in the parent version. Yeah. Okay, it's not even accessible. So that's just there. If your district has purchased that feature, it's an add-on feature. And I can't imagine why a parent would need to access that. But in your account, I know Betsy before was saying with Google Classroom that you have the ability to decide what kinds of notifications that you want. And that's true in Canvas as well. And so to do changes to your notifications, you click on your account. You could also change your profile if you wanted to have some kind of picture here or something, you could certainly do that. But then clicking on notifications, and again, this is just something you'd kind of need to go ahead and look through, and see, do you want notifications for this? Do you not? And you can make those changes here. So that's kind of like a basic overview of the web version of Canvas. And again, what I find most helpful as a parent are the ability to, see that the calendar is super useful, but then also, what if I click into a class? Okay, what does that look like? And so if I click on one of my students' tiles on their dashboard, this teacher has their homepage set up with different links like this week's lessons, the meetings, the links for their Zoom meetings, a virtual schedule, how to contact their teacher. And so entering the class can be really helpful as well if you want to see what kinds of things are going on. So I looked at this week's lessons, and so I can see some of the different things that are going on in this biochemistry unit. I can see there are dates associated with them. And again, that's very helpful to me. Grades. This one's kind of touchy. Like, here's the catch with grades and Canvas. We are using Canvas as a learning management system, a platform to work and interact with our students, and we can set up our grade book and things like that. And Canvas does communicate or talk to Skyward in the case of my school district or Infinite Campus. But find out from your child's teacher where are official grades reported, because if there are certain settings that if they're not set up exactly correctly, things might post a little bit differently and grades may be calculated slightly differently. And so I would always, if so for my students, I tell my students, your official grade is always in Skyward. That's where I have to report our official grades. That's where I'm very, very careful to make sure that things are updated appropriately. I'm, you know, and I'm doing it in Canvas as well. But I always tell the kids, Skyward is where your official grades are. And so that's probably an important question. You know, if you're really concerned about that, ask the teacher, where should I look to know get a better picture of my child's current grade? And I suspect it's going to be whatever grading program. Grades get reported at the end of a grading period. So inside of the courses, again, from dashboard, you know, when we click on those tabs, we just clicked into a biology course. Now here's his Spanish course, and it looks quite different. This teacher uses recent announcements up at the top. But she also has a series of links here and helpful resources. Again, and if you're really looking to see how your child is doing, usually modules is a good place to check to kind of see what's going on. She has hers broken up into units, but then also assignments. And then I do want to take just a really quick minute so that I can show you the app, because I actually prefer the app as a parent to the web platform. And I'm not really sure why that is, but I find it just easier to navigate as a parent because I'm looking for some, you know, pretty specific things. And so I'm just going to quickly jump over here and share my iPad screen with you. So on the iPad or phone, or, you know, Android phone, iPhone, in the App Store, just to kind of see what that looks like. If you search Canvas, you would be looking for Canvas Parent. And all the Canvas apps have the same logo, just different colors. So the parent logo here is the blue. And so I already have it, but just so you can see what that looks like, I'm going to go ahead and open that. And like I said, I really prefer, as a parent, using the app version of this. Again, I find it a little bit less overwhelming. And so all of my child's classes are listed here. And I can click into any of them by clicking on the name. Oops, I was clicking on my computer screen and not the iPad. That's not going to work. So I just clicked into his fitness and wellness course. And right here, it says what his quarter grade is currently. And then underneath it, it lists all of the assignments. And you can see that it's only showing Q2 grades. I can change that filter here if I wanted to go back for some reason and see any of the grades from the previous grading period. And what's nice about this, another reason I like the app is I can see that my child has one assignment right now in Q2 that he has not yet submitted. And I can also see that it is due tomorrow night. And so again, this is one of the other reasons that I really prefer the mobile app version of this program. And also the calendar feature is available. It just looks a little bit different. So here, the calendar setup is that it kind of gives you a glimpse at the week. And you can see that today's date is kind of highlighted. And these are the things that are associated with today's date. That he needs to get these quote journals. Well, actually, he has finished those. But anyway, if I look at tomorrow's date, I can see this is what's due tomorrow. Okay, and Thursday, he's got a few things coming up due as well. And alerts, there's nothing to be notified of yet. I don't know if I have. Oh, that's another thing I didn't say. You can add a second student to your Canvas account as well. Okay, and so to add a student is really easy to do that here. But I did tell you that I was going to talk to you about that pairing code. When you're setting up your parent account, you need a pairing code. And to do that, you're kind of going to need your child's account to be open. And so if you ask your child to go into their account, so I'm going into my child's Canvas account now. This is what it looks like on the app from the student version. If I go up into the upper right left-hand corner, there's a little menu to get into sort of the settings for my child. And if I click on settings, there is the option right here to pair with observer. And there's a QR code. So if you're using the app, you can just kind of grab a screenshot of that or grab a picture of that. But it also actually gives a code right below that so that you can manually type in that code as well. So that's where you get those pairing codes to actually set up the account. And to, again, that pairing code has to be retrieved from your child's account. So that's a lot. And I'm going to stop, and maybe you'll have questions that you want to direct to me in the Q&A, which is fine. I'll stay on. It's a lot to take in, and it's also very fast. So I apologize for that. But anyway, and be patient with your teachers and with your child. We're all really struggling through this together. So, you know, we'll get there eventually. So thank you.